Y'all, these are not my chickens, and I'm sitting here trying to protect these little babies because these crows are just absolutely insane.
Welcome to Red's Homestead!
Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome back to Red's Homestead. So, you remember Miss Broody Hen in the barn that we had? Well, she had 6 chicks and now she's running around. We've got Broody Hen number 2. Found a spot underneath these stairs. She blends in very well, but there she is sitting on a clutch of eggs. We first noticed her just wandering around in here, and then we had a couple hawks flying above, and she just darted back under the staircase, and we are wondering why.
Now we are ushering back to the barn. She seems to be trusting me to, you know, help her. Oh, there we go, little chick. You go back to the barn.
Shannon now is corralling our first, we call her Red with the mama, and she's corralling them back into the barn because they were all the way over here in the corner of the house foraging, and the hawks were she's over there, and the hawks were just flying. The crows too, the crows were going crazy today, but they were going mostly after the blue jays. It looks like they had a nest up in the trees, and so the blue jays, I mean, those are fierce. They will fight off a crow pretty quick, so no luck there. But we have successfully corralled.
They're not even my chickens.
They're not even ours, and we're gonna have more.
It would break my heart to see them get taken. And I know it probably will happen.
It's possible. So now she's back in her corner.
I'm gonna go get them some food
with the chicks. Safe. At least put their food. So we're in a conundrum. We're debating putting them in a dog crate and keeping them safe, and maybe introducing them to our flock, but at least the chicks. So what we're thinking about doing is putting them in a dog crate, letting mama still raise them or grow up with them in the dog crate, move them into our racking house, and then when we let them loose, we're not going to clip the wings of mom and see if mom just abandons and goes home, and then the chicks stay.
I just don't want too many roosters.
Yeah, don't want too many roosters, so we'll have. Yeah. We're still thinking of what to do there.
Yes, we could call a rooster.
Yeah, we don't even know what kind of chickens they are. They look kind of, what'd you say, leg bars?
Maybe cream leg bars is the closest thing I've seen so far.
Yeah, and who knows what breeds he has over there and what mixes. Like I say, he has over 100.
He's not gonna care of this one.
No, he doesn't care. He'd probably thank us for keeping some.
Do these need to be covered?
That is potato blight.
Right, okay. So we have to
cover them up.
Now, do I need to clip off?
Yeah, I would. See this yellowing right here? And that's pretty much the potato. Could be rotting underneath though.
Oh.
But those spots make me think it's potato blight.
Okay, so we clip that or trim that off and then just cover it again?
I would trim that off, cover it again. We're 90s.
I'm not feeling good anyways.
Yeah. We were wondering why this area over here was doing so well on my garden, and why this little area here was always staying moist. Well, I found a water pipe was leaking right here. So it looks like it's still slightly coming up. So I shut off the water down there, and hopefully when the pipes completely drain out, that's going to stop the water coming out, and then have to dig down there and patch plumbing. It never ends, doesn't it? I don't have to fix it right now. We don't use that water line because that line goes from our well house up to the barn, and we don't use that water, so it's okay if it's shut off. I mean, it was shut off for the first 7 months of us being here, so I could put that project off. Let's look at a few things Shannon did. So we've been bringing the chicks out from the brooder that was in the garage and bringing them out here to our second rabbit run, our initial rabbit run tractor. So what we had to do is we reinforced it with some hardware cloth just because we were worried about the hawks. They've been really active lately, more than what they usually were, and we've been finding them perched on top of our racking house. They've been getting really daringly close. So we've done a few more preventative measures just to help with these hawks. The hardware cloth.
So we've got some different wire around, which will keep the hawks, hopefully, because yesterday I came out and there was a hawk sitting right in this tree watching my chicks. And it can't get to them except with that chicken wire. If they're curious enough and get close enough to the hawk, it could pull them right out of there. So hopefully this will add an extra little barrier since they're just out for a few hours.
Oh yeah, so you were sitting here and the hawk was like perched right up there.
Outside and it was perched, watching them, and I know it can pull them through that.
Yeah. So we put some extra hardware cloth just to hopefully protect them while they were out there, but we actually moved them into the racking house. So we're hoping to get them familiar with the chickens because they're, how old are the chicks now? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 3 weeks?
They're 3 weeks, and I'm not going to be letting them, like we put these girls like out to run free here at 4 weeks. I can't do that with these because the door's open. No. I can't let them out until they're big.
So we're probably going to keep them in there for another few weeks, but hopefully by then we are they're familiar with each other. And what we did, we only put half the brooder in, and then Shannon put some hardware cloth on one side of it just to make sure the chickens, you know, can't get in there, can't get out. And we were worried about chickens getting on top and maybe pushing that roof around and pooping on them, whatever, but
they didn't.
They don't care.
Do it with the ducks either.
Yeah, she was. I mean, I've been working, so she's been working here. She got just an added improvement to the chicken run. Ooh, that sun's hot. Yeah, so I thought I had a bigger shade cloth, but this is the only one we could find. I swore I had a big one, like at least a 20 foot by 20 foot. Just something extra for aerial protection plus shade.
Stand above that and you will be blinded.
Yes, she also added another round of tin on top of this right here. It was half tin, half chicken wire, but we went ahead and she added tin on the top, and if you stand and look down on that, you're blind. And so if a hawk is looking down, I'm assuming some kind of massive reflection is gonna
I was just standing there
blind at it.
And it was horrible, but I was worried I was going to spray paint because I was like, well, is it going to get too hot under there? But it's not.
No. And then that's where we keep their dust baths too, is underneath there now, so it's not making a mess on inside of the racking house. It can be out here. And Mr. Quacker's here. You can tell. I mean, look at his beautiful head. Hey, yes, I'm talking about you. He is definitely forming out to be a Drake. There is pretty much no question about it now versus his 3 ladies. For the garden is coming extremely well looking garden so far. I'm very happy with how we have it laid out and how everything is turning out. Probably got 30 or 40 tomatoes already starting to come up. Peppers are starting to come up. I don't top my peppers. I just let them start and grow. I've never topped my peppers. So it's something I could experiment with, but I've always just had really good success just letting them grow. We have such a long summer to where the peppers will thrive. They go all the way to November almost. and they'll keep producing. So I've never really had a need to fast track their growth and have a large pepper plant because they just keep going for so long. And lastly, we have the new baby bunnies. So luckily in here, it's not nearly as bad as out there. It feels like it's maybe 80 degrees, and when it has a breeze, it's actually quite comfortable, but that's still warm for the rabbits. And so we still have water bottles in there, frozen water bottles, so that they can stay cool if they want to. Most of them really just enjoy the ceramic tiles, and they'd rather lay on that than lay next to the water bottle, because I guess it's just cools down their whole body, and it's nice to just get off the cage wire.
They figured out the feeder. They just hop right in it. I guess it's a little too high for them, so they hop in it and eat. Y'all need this cage clean though. I know what tomorrow's project is.
They are starting to eat hay, pellets, drinking out of a water bottle. So we're in about 2 weeks or so. Once they're 5 weeks, just gotta make sure timing wise. In between 4 and 5 weeks, jeez, we're gonna take them away from mama, completely wean them off and put them into the tractor and give them about a week or so in the tractor, making sure that they are doing just fine without mama. Then we'll put up for listing. I've actually already sold a couple for people that are interested just based on pictures. So it might be it might be the way to go, is breeding to sell as pets. I really like that idea of kind of getting some cash to help supplement feed and things like that. Even though they're not very expensive, it'd be nice little cash flow to have, and they're so quick and easy to turn around if we want to. But probably this weekend we're going to start breeding the second mama so that they'll be ready to start the whole cycle all over again. And if we can't sell them, well, then we start looking at the alternatives, which are not bad, pretty tasty. Just don't know if I can do it. We'll see. And hopefully these few changes is gonna help protect our animals. Good night, everyone.